Alright YouTube, so today's video we're talking about DSLRs again, and we have had many conversations around this, but this one I'm going to show you sort of what I've been doing and what maybe some of you have been doing and experiencing, actually, is what I'm going to say. I went down, I was one of the early adopters of mirrorless, right? Jumped in early, bought many brands, bought many cameras, and spent a lot of money buying lenses, buying all kinds of things, right? Then came a juncture where, hey, if I want to buy more mirrorless stuff, I got to sell some of this incredible DSLR gear, lenses, whatnot. Luckily, I didn't sell very many of my lenses at all, and I'm glad I didn't. There's nothing wrong with the mirrorless lenses. It's just there was nothing wrong with the DSLR lenses to begin with, right? This whole mirrorless revolution, evolution, whatever the heck you want to call it, it's all driven by platforms like YouTube, and obviously the brands. Some of them are forced to do it and get into it, and then now they are forcing you to buy new lenses and stopping support of some of this older stuff that was available. Anyway, that's not the point of this video. The point of this video, if you're here, why a DSLR in 2025 and beyond? That's the point of this video. So if you're here for that, stay. I know I made a similar video. This one's going to have a slightly different take, and I'm going to show you sort of what I have reacquired back into sort of my kit, which I sold pennies on the dollar like a fool, but went back. And why did I do that? So with that, let's not waste any more time. Let's get right into the video. So when I went to mirrorless, it looked like the sure bet that it's going to change the world. It kind of did, but again, this is my opinion. You believe whatever you want. It changed the world for me in a way which was not better for me, right? It actually made it worse. This is my opinion again. In my opinion, it has destroyed photography. You, as a photographer behind the shutter button today, are really not contributing very much at all to that photo making process. And we don't make photos anymore, we just take them, right? Because the camera is so smart and it does that, like I've said in my previous videos. That detachment led me to a point where I wanted to walk away from photography because it left a very, unsatisfied feeling. Haven't you had it where you go and have food or dinner, right? And it's a decent, nice place where you're actually eating this, that, and the other. You're full, but you're not satisfied. You're not satisfied. And you would be perfectly okay, just getting maybe just a bowl of homemade, how can I say it, chili, that really hits the spot, does it. It doesn't have to be large quantities, just that one reset thing that you haven't had for a while. That changes your whole experience. That's exactly what a DSLR is to me. It's real. The realism is there. So what am I talking about? I'm going to go down this path and let's bring the realism in. Number one, the OVF, you've heard me talk about that, the optical viewfinder. No matter how good EVFs get, it will never be as good as a human eye, right? On what a human eye sees, that experience, and the optical viewfinder gives you that very experience in a DSLR. I don't care how good your screen inside that viewfinder gets, it will never beat the fact that I am looking at you through here and there, and I see exactly what my eye sees. Never. It will never happen. You can sell me all day long till I'm blue in the face and the refresh rate of blah blah. Guess on what the refresh rate of this is? There isn't any, because it's what the human eye sees. It's a mirror just reflecting it. So just this whole hatred towards this mirror box inside caused us to go down a path where it has created so much bad taste in people's mouth, like myself. I'm only speaking for myself. Where a lot of them even put their cameras down on the mirrorless side of the house. That's what I did. I bought so many of them, and then I have sold more mirrorless cameras on mine than I've sold of DSLRs. That should be an indication for you that the mirrorless technology is just not cutting it. Yes, it's fast. Yes, autofocus is blazing. It's incredible, no doubt. But that experience is completely lost, and these companies have ruined it. Ruined it. The DSLR gave you that already. So you took something that was already working perfectly fine just to try to sell something new, create something new. And I think they failed, because the last 10 years, it has taken 10 years for mirrorless sensors to even come close to DSLRs when it comes to the accuracy of the autofocus. Cross type AF. This has 191 cross type. This is the 1DX Mark III. And when I put this in the mirrorless mode, it's as good as a mirrorless camera, but I have 191 cross type AF points, which I can nail. I'll take a cross type AF camera any day over a mirrorless camera, because I know for sure that if that cross type got that thing nailed on what I saw into that EVF, I got the shot. It's done. I don't have to second guess whether it got it or not. It nailed it. Very, very rare occasion where it did not. So obviously you guys know I acquired one of these, and absolutely love this thing. I was going to get the R1, had it in here, and I ended up getting one of these. So that should tell you something, right? The R1 is an incredible camera, don't take it wrong. So if you have one, please don't go out there and start selling it. Nothing's wrong with it. It just wasn't for me. It's not a 1DX Mark III. And it shouldn't be. It's an R1, right? So if you like it, you use it, that's beautiful. Go for it. Enjoy it. Then, that whole saga of the R7 came in. The R7 is an incredible camera, about 4 years. Looks like Nikon and Sony. They ain't going to do jack shit, when it comes to a mirrorless counterpart that's going to compare to it. So Canon has been sort of just, eating their own lunch for about 4 years now with no competition. A lot of people said, oh, it's got rolling shutter, this, that, and the other. It's got a mechanical shutter that shoots 15 frames per second. It's faster than most APS-C cameras anyway, and you get 32 megapixels. That's plenty. It's pretty damn good. Loved it. But there was one thing that I absolutely loved, and I had to get it back, and I wish I never had sold it to begin with. It was one of my most cherished cameras, which I absolutely love. Just like many of you on the Nikon camp love your D500, I love my 7D Mark II. So here it is. It's back again. I found a really nice one, very well kept, and it's looks incredible. Always maintained. So I was able to score one. Here it is again. Got a grip for it from KEH, and B&H. And we're in business, no problem, right? Now, this big guy has a companion. You can see, pretty similar. One's cropped, one's full frame. Best of both worlds, right here. And if I want to go mirrorless, I just put this into live view, put my loop on, and I can do every damn thing that a mirrorless camera can do. Knock myself off if that's what I want to do. If I don't, use it as a DSLR, 16 frames per second, and then with the electronic shutter, 20 frames per second. That's not bad. That's pretty damn fast. This is 10 frames per second on the 7D Mark II. Fast enough, right? So then I had another camera which I absolutely adored, and I actually won some awards with it, with some of the stuff that I shot, which was this guy. This is back. A 5DSR. 50 megapixels, 5 frames per second, not super fast, but this actually came from a gentleman that shot magazine covers for Motor Trend magazine and publications. This is his own very camera that I was able to get. And obviously you know how much I love the grip. So I wanted to do this, studio work, shoot portraits, I can do that. If not, I can do this. So many of the magazine covers that you saw for Motor Trend, they were shot with that very camera. But it's not fast enough. Well, the Motor Trend cars are really fast, but if you have skill, you can still produce that. You don't need the new cameras. This clearly proves that. So here's this back. And then this next one is the grand finale, on which a very dedicated video is coming very soon, and I've actually launched a project for myself. This one made me very emotional because the camera has a lot of history with me. When we parted from film and went into digital, I had the Canon 1D and the 1DS that I bought back in the day, and they were good, but they didn't really get the film cameras out of people's hands. But this particular camera, and then a little bit later came, this is the 5D Classic. You guys already know I already have one. Why am I showing you another one? I'll tell you the story in a second. The 5D Classic and the Nikon D700 were the two cameras that really got a lot of film cameras out of people's hands, and they started to go into digital. I had set a alert on eBay some time back. I want either a brand new or literally like an open box brand new type situation of a 5D Classic, if I can find one. 2.5 months in, a alert pops up for someone in the United States that posted this very camera. And when I reached out, this young lady, not very young, old as myself, got into arthritis and whatnot, and she had posted it as practically brand new. And I'm like, well, what does that mean? How many actuations have you, how many photos have you taken with it? And she said, probably about 10 photos. And I said, yeah, I don't know. So I ended up getting it. I paid a lot more than what most people would pay for a 5D Classic today. As you can see, it's mint. It doesn't even have a hairline scratch on it. I'll show you. This doesn't even have any dirt in there. When you look at the mount, the lens has been mounted on it twice. It's practically brand new. And this camera changed the face of the planet, going to digital, along with Nikon D700, and there were a few others, but they never made the mark that these did. That's why they have the cult type of following to it. So I was super excited. I still am, but I'm actually holding one brand new because I bought my original one that you guys have seen in videos back in about 2004, 2005. I think it was more like 2005, end of 2004. I picked it up, and it was about $3,300, something like that. But we always complain when we have to pay over $2,000 today, and we don't get everything that, you know, a Formula One race car should have in a camera. That's how much these cameras used to cost back then. And this is a total magnesium alloy body. I can feel the weight, I can feel the bulk, and it's rock solid. Just beautiful. And just to what the cultish following on this thing is the shutter. If you can kind of hear it, I'll put it up by the thing. There's just something about that shutter. you know, and especially one that is practically brand new. So I feel very lucky to be able to even hold this. You can see even the flash has never ever been even mounted on here. So why am I showing you all this? If me in 2025 was able to recreate my bag and kit back to this, what does that look like for me for the future of mirrorless? Unless they really show me something that is 10 times, 100 times better and prove to me that it is better. One thing that I did not mention, when you put a flash unit on these, on a DSLR, and you have a dedicated speed light, you have the IR light, that red light that goes and hits the subject. In low light autofocusing, that is so damn accurate, it is insane. Most mirrorless cameras can't do that, and they rely on their, you know, their face detect autofocus, which is not nearly as close. So there are a lot of things that still need to be solved from the mirrorless side of the house, and I'm sure one day they will, and global shutter really is the answer. Having said that, I'll use these, and as long as this is available, which will be available for decades to come, because they were sold by the million, tens and millions and hundreds of millions of them. And mirrorless technology will not be able to sell that many cameras and lenses probably in the next 20 years. I don't think so, because at the rate these are going, and with what Apple has announced recently that they're actually working on a global shutter sensor for their cell phone, I don't know. You might not need a mirrorless camera anymore for the long haul. Things could change. So the video is getting long, but I wanted to show you this, where I am back. I still have all of my mirrorless cameras. I still have my R5, R7, Nikon ZF. I have that, and a couple more mirrorless that you've seen in the past. I still have them. I love them, and Sony A9 II and others. But am I going to pour tens and thousands of dollars in every new thing that's coming out and run after these crazy, just, you know, brainless, you know, rumor sites, which amount to absolutely nothing? Work on your skill. Don't worry about what Sony, Nikon, Canon are going to do. And I would highly encourage you to consider picking up a DSLR. If you've never used one, once you start using that and seeing what it's all about, your perspective will change, because many people have never experienced it. They went straight to mirrorless, so they have no idea what I'm talking about. So with that, leave your comments below if you've been buying any of these things back, and you know, I'm getting good deals on them. Not all DSLRs are a good deal. Some of them you're going to have to pay a pretty penny to get a really nice one, and you can get some cheap, but then they've been beat up. So get ones that are actually credible. They're good. Pick it up at KEH, wherever, you know, get it with the warranty, and you'll be fine. So with that, like, subscribe, be nice to each other, go out there, create your magic, and I will talk to you in the next one. Take care.